Designers use several types of sketches to express their designs, but is there one that's most important for you to master? Welcome back to my channel. My name is McKeldrew Pelham. I am a digital fashion specialist teaching digital fashion design through my company, 383 Design Studio, as well as the Fashion Institute of Technology and Jefferson University. I talk about digital fashion design and software on this channel, so if that's something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. So I've talked about the difference between flats and floats in this video, but I also mentioned that there are other types of sketches designers create, and each sketch serves a different purpose. A fashion illustration cannot serve the purpose of a flat sketch and vice versa. So let's talk about the different types of sketches a designer can use and what the purposes are. The 6 main types of sketches you'll see fashion designers using are a rough, a text sketch, a flat sketch, a stylized flat sketch, a float, and a fashion illustration. Let's start with the rough. A rough or rough sketch is exactly what it sounds like. It's a quick sketch that just serves the purpose of getting the idea out of your head and onto paper. A lot of times there are no details. It's really about the fit and silhouette. This might be a sketch you create if you're walking down the street or you're in a museum or some type of art exhibit and inspiration strikes. A text sketch is a sketch that was traditionally used on tech packs. A text sketch is very similar to a flat sketch, but it's even more technical and mechanical. And a designer would probably read that as even more stiff and not pretty. It's the sketch that's meant to have all the technical features and construction details so that a physical prototype of your design can be made. Normally, the only people who saw those sketches were the apparel designer, tech designers, the pattern makers, and the sample makers. Now, most of us don't use these sketches anymore, mostly because design sketches have become so outward facing and because they are so technical and stiff. A buyer or consumer looking at that sketch might not understand the intent and might even be deterred from buying the design because of it. Hence the reason it was normally only shared internally. Now that these sketches tend to be used on more documents that are shared with people outside of internal design teams, most designers often use flat sketches or stylized flat sketches instead. A flat sketch is what many of us are familiar with, use regularly, and probably spend the most time drawing if you're producing garments. The flat sketch is a two-dimensional representation of your design and contains all of the design and construction details. The sketch is also proportional and reflects the fit intent. Over the years, the flat sketch we regularly used morphed into a stylized flat sketch. This serves many of the same purposes as the flat sketch, but it's more fluid. It may have shadows or look rounder, like there's a body in it. Oftentimes they're placed on fashion cads, and I've even had my sketches featured in sales catalogs. Stylized flat sketches are a lot more nuanced and can be more easily understood by a buyer, salesperson, consumer, or anyone else outside of internal teams who might be viewing this sketch. A float is similar to an illustration. A float can have as much detail and be as stylized as a fashion illustration, but these sketches don't have a body in them. Whereas an illustration would have a fully rendered face, body parts, feet, arms, fingers, a float is focused on the garment and accessories. They aren't used much anymore. The last time I really saw them in commerce was in the early 90s in hosiery. But they were also used regularly in one of my favorite trend books, Block Note. And from what I could tell, the purpose was to focus on the design without the distraction of faces, body parts, etc., while also showing the versatility and movement of the item. And of course, the fashion illustration. And the purpose of this is to create the overall mood and attitude of the design, to showcase who this person is that's wearing the design, how it should be worn and styled, perhaps even what that person is doing in the clothes. Illustrations aren't used as much as they once were, but there are a lot of illustrators that still practice their craft and sell their illustrations. There are also designers who hire illustrators to draw their collections on the runway. And there are also trend forecasting companies that use illustrations in their reports. However, most illustrators today, I think, do it because they love it, not because they can get a corporate job. So of these 6 types of fashion design sketches, which is the most important for a designer to master? If you answered flat sketch, you would be correct, and here's why. A flat sketch is essential for a tech pack, which is essential to produce a garment. A flat sketch gives the designer the opportunity to work through the idea, the details, and to think about the execution of the design. And a flat sketch will showcase all of the details of the design so that anyone looking at the sketch can understand the fit intent and how to construct it. And I'm always meeting people who say they have great ideas, but they can't draw. Well, a flat sketch is a great way to express your idea if you're not great with illustration and you believe you can't draw. And many designers use Illustrator because it's a great tool to help you accurately draw your flat sketches. In my course, Illustrator for Fashion Design Sketching is a great way to get you started if you don't yet know how to use the program. Thanks for watching today's video. If you are new to Illustrator for Fashion Design, make sure you check out the link in the description to take my online course. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next time.